We have Asashoryu, the Mongolian, in the lead with 5 straight wins. With 4 wins and 1 loss, we have Wakanosato, Musayama, Kaio, Chotaikai, and Musashi Maru. And then with 2 losses, 3 wins and 2 losses, Takanohana. Well, this is Terao coming in. This is probably going to be his last basho. He's been doing gradually worse and worse. He's 39 years old, absolutely fantastic wrestler. But there's a limit to their sumo life. It's a rough game. Along with him, Takutoriki probably going to retire this basho as well. 2 old stagers who will be much missed from the dohyo. And you can see with this Yokozuna ring entering ceremony, the crowd cheer, encourage the wrestlers as they go along. Quite okay to call out as they make the various moves. The actual ceremony lasts about 2 minutes. Now on to the first of our bouts, day 6, between Wakanoyama and Tochinohana. They fought 3 times, correction, 4 times. Wakanoyama's won 3 of them. You can see how they come out there, short, sharp steps, and the head gets lowered at the end to crack into the chest of the opposing wrestler. And Wakanoyama, he's diabetic apparently, and his wife's pregnant, and he's down towards the bottom of this Makuuchi division. He needs to stay in this division, needs the money, so he's fighting for survival there. So giving Tochinohana a bit of pressure, but seems somehow inconclusive. Neither wrestler looking for the belt, but there's a Kotoskashi move by the look of it. Under the arm and on the back of the head. So Wakanoyama wins that one. That's his 5th win. Well, he's doing all right so far. Previous basho, he had 9 wins. That should move him up the rankings a bit if you can keep this sumo going. And that was the 2nd loss for Tochinohana. Otsukasa fights Iwakiyama. Iwakiyama actually of the Juryo division, but he's moved up for this bout to make up the numbers a bit. Iwakiyama 170 kilos. But the Juryo, it's a tough division. Not as tough as this one, but plenty of good wrestlers in there. Ones who've dropped out temporarily from the Makuuchi division due to injuries or whatever, and are fighting their way back. Iwakiyama then, with that was his 4th win, and it was the 5th loss for Otsukasa. Akinoshima's got 4 losses, and Daizen also has got 4 losses. Both scored only 6 wins in the last basho. Well, Akinoshima gets that one. Doesn't look like his old self. 35 years old, Daizen 37. And that was Daizen's 5th loss. So now Asanowaka against Tamakasuga. Well, Asanowaka's the side stepper and the slap down. Made an interesting remark the other day. He said that most of the wrestlers are warned against doing hatakikomi. He said, which actually makes it easier to take them with it. As I say, it's not much liked by the sumo bosses. It's done quite a bit, but it affects their stance, and that makes it easier for people like Asanowaka to make the move. A little snippet of sumo information there for you. So let's move on. That was Tamakasuga, nevertheless, who won that last one. That was his 5th win. Now, Kotomitsuki against Kyokushuzan. Another win for Kotomitsuki. That's his 5th one. 3rd loss for Kyokushuzan. Slap to the upper body, and Kyokushuzan's feet skidded away. Still, Kyokushuzan's done better than his last basho when he only had 1 win. Aminishiki from the Ajigawa stable fights Gojoro from the Magaki stable. Some 52 stables In sumo, some with only very few wrestlers in, sometimes no more than 1 or 2 wrestlers. The bigger stables have as many as 30 wrestlers. Well, there's a nice little sidestep there. Aminishiki manages to get round, slip round behind Gojoro and push him out from behind with okuridashi. 4th win for Aminishiki, 4th loss for Gojoro. Kasuganishiki. Both wrestlers about 150 kilos weight, which is about the average for this division. Well, attacks to the upper body. Following that, Tamanoshima settles in on the belt. And he gets the 2 hands locked round tight, lifts up. As he lifts up, moves forward and then tips him over at an angle over the edge. Tamanoshima's 3rd win, Kasuganishiki's 3rd loss. Now Buyuzan against Tokitsuumi. Buyuzan at 165 kilos, Tokitsuumi at 135, so some 30 kilos difference between the two. You can see the difference there. But it's Tokitsuumi who locks in tight from the initial Tsuppari attacks. Buyuzan seems the more powerful of the two. Of course, he's used to fighting in his own stable against Musashi Maru and Dejima and Wakanoyama, all big wrestlers. Well, there's a lot of power going in that, and looked to me like Buyuzan got it. Touch and go at the end there. You can see how Buyuzan's belt was starting to ride up there. They're not secured by any particular means, no clips or clasps or pins or anything. They just wrap round and then lock tight in place. Occasionally they fall off, very occasionally, it has to be said. It's a loss if it falls off. Tochinohana there talking to Skebito by the look of it, an attendant, one of his attendants. Next out, Takanowaka. He's had a reasonable basho so far. He's got 4 wins. Said to do a lot of weight training, but doesn't seem to show particularly. Seem to be more and more of the wrestlers now pushing the weights. And he's fighting Hokutoriki. And Takanowaka's got that hustling, rocking sideways move that keeps the other wrestler unsettled. Bit reminiscent of Kotonishiki, long since retired, but who won a couple of bashos as a very low-ranking wrestler. Now Kotoryu, the man who beat Tochinohana, he fights Miyabiyama. They've had 7 head-to-heads previously. Miyabiyama has won 4 of them. And Miyabiyama seems to be closing down on Kotoryu. Drives him to the edge, although Kotoryu recovers a little bit. Kotoryu trying the underarm throw. The Shitatenagi now, he's got 2 hands underneath. And then he just drives forward with yorikiri. So a nice switch there from a Shitate underarm throw maneuver into a morozashi, that's 2 arms round the body and then a straightforward force out. So Kotoryu takes that one, 2nd win for him, 4th loss for Miyabiyama. Wakanosato means young village. Fights Tochinohana, the Straits of Tochi, which is sweet chestnut. Quite poetic, some of these names. Usually include things, natural features such as seas, mountains, islands, etc. So both wrestlers locked in, classical sumo, 2 hands on the belt. This is what they often mean as ozumo. This is meant to be the best sumo. So Wakanasato's got both hands on. Tochinohana tries a spin move there, but it's Wakanosato who squashes him down. So Tochinohana loses that one. That's his 6th straight loss. Not a good basho for him. And 5th win for Wakanosato. So he's still in there. Previous basho he had 11 wins. Right, lots of banging of the belt. Extravagant gestures from Toki. Sideburns, orange mawashi. Fights Chio Taikai. Chio Taikai's beaten him 9 times. Toki's never once beaten him. Well, that's the one-way trailway line, train line for Toki. Train in the shape of Chio Taikai, driving him straight backwards and out. Shows the power of the man. Toki is some 20 kilos heavier than Chio Taikai. Now Robocop, Takami Sakari, Mr. Awkward fights Asashoryu, the Mongolian. Well, Asashoryu is a mean fighter, hard, burns with the need to win, and he disposes of Takami Sakari there without much trouble. Certainly Asashoryu is looking like an Ozeki. He's filling his new position comfortably. Extremely powerful. He's only 137 kilos, and yet he just seems to overwhelm these other wrestlers without too much trouble. Seems to have no fear in him at all. He'll fight as hard as he can against any of them. And some prize money. Now Musayama's got 4 wins against Kyokuten Ho with 3 wins. Musayama will come out with a very hard charge, probably overwhelm Kyokuten Ho with the Tachi-ai, the charge. Kyokuten Ho's got a good line in tricky moves though. Tries a slight sideways turn, then tries a pull down, but Musayama follows him up much too quickly, closes off the gap, doesn't give Kyokuten Ho a chance to pull off any fancy moves. So 5th win for Musayama, 3rd loss for Kyokuten Ho. Well, Musayama seems to be back on form after sitting out his the previous basho. Right, tension mounts as the grand champion comes out. He'll be fighting on the very last bout against Tochinohana. Now we have Kaio Ozeki against Komusubi ranked Takanonami. Takanonami, tall, some 1 or 2 good techniques, good at the outside leg hook, the Sorogake, good at the arm breaking Kotonage. Kaio on form, overwhelmingly powerful. Slightly uncertain start there. Kaio doesn't get it running. Misses that one, pushes too hard, slides off, gets turned around, and Takanonami shoves him out from behind. So Kaio takes his 2nd loss, Takanonami his 3rd win. Kaio looked a bit disappointed there. Didn't really come out too hard and fast at the beginning of all that, and then it became a bit messy. Now the first of the grand champions, Musashi Maru. 520 pounds of him, 37 stone. In British weight, 237 kilo. Here fights Shimotori, who he should just blow away. Let's just see. Well, yeah, looked pretty easy. 5th win for Musashi Maru. Shimotori not really in that one at all. And a little bit of prize money for the grand champion. Well, Shimotori had 2 good previous bashos, so he should have been a reasonable opposition for Musashi Maru, but certainly didn't show it there. Now we have the grand champion. They do this leg stamp known as shiko. They come into the ring, stamp the ground. Quite an elaborate ritual they go through. There's the salt, the shiomaki. They chuck it into the ring. It's a purifying significance. There's his brother, Wakanohana, one-time grand champion. All the family are here backing him up. Well, Wakanohana's taken 2 losses, can't really afford to lose any more. I guess he would survive with, say, 3 losses overall, but he needs to win consistently from now on to prove that he's back on form. Here fighting Tochinohana, they fought 26 times before. Takanohana's won 19 of them. Well, that little hand gesture from Takanohana as if to say, I'm not ready. Even start there by both wrestlers, but Takanohana powering in, starts driving Tochinohana back to the edge bit by bit. He's got his hand on the belt. Tochinohana's trying to close off the arm there on this side. You can see it locking in tight, but Takanohana gets the hand on the belt. He's got his right hand on, then the left, tries the overarm throw. Well, that's Yokozuna sumo. Tochinohana's no pushover. And in that tussle there is Takanohana who disposes of Tochinohana without too much trouble. So 4 wins for Takanohana and 2 losses. No, that was a comfortable bout. Looked as though he knew exactly what he was doing. Let's watch it again. Quite a even initial charge from both wrestlers. There you can see Takanohana looking for the belt, and Tochinohana trying to deny him that with his arms and his elbows. Elbows working on the inside. Tochinohana gets his grip as well, the underarm grip. And Takanohana looking for that right hand on the belt. They're pushing in hard, a certain amount of elbow control from both wrestlers, trying to deny the other one a reasonable grip. Takanohana moving forward the whole time. There he tries that overarm throw, and down goes Tochinohana. It's a very neat win for the Grand Champion. So at the end of day 6, we've got Asa Shoryu in the lead with 6 straight wins, and a clutch of wrestlers with 5 wins and 1 loss, including Musashi Maru, Musoyama, Chiotai Kai, and Wakanosato. And behind that, Takanohana with 4 wins and 2 losses. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with days 7 to 12. This is Syd Hoare from Tokyo. Take care, bye for now, and sayonara.